name is Marvin Liao. I'm a partner at 500 Startups. 500 Startups is a global venture capital firm out of Silicon Valley that invests everywhere.
Okay, I saw you see that you are very often coming to Balkans. What brings you to Balkans? What is hot here?
What brings me to Balkans? I would say a lot of it just because I recognize sort of there's a growing pool of talent in general. And I've been involved with sort of the Balkan region even before 500 Startups. So I guess maybe it's a legacy of my Yahoo past and legacy of just even before 500 Startups and in between sort of like after leaving Yahoo and prior to 500, I did spend a lot of time here speaking at conferences and mentoring a lot of startup accelerators, and I saw the amazing technical talent and actually really smart people here. So you try to, 500 Startups is a big supporter of actually growing ecosystems, and so that's one of the reasons I think sort of like I do spend time out here.
Okay, so like how developed is Balkan scene? There is talent pool, but how difficult is to be like startup from Balkans on global scale? Like, is it possible to scale globally from Belgrade?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Number one, I mean, you don't have English language issues. Like that's one big part, frankly. I think the second part is like, you know, there's a curse and the benefit of being in a small market is that you have to think global or at least regionally from the beginning. And I actually think as well too, it's just, I'm seeing a lot of talent realizing like, hey, if I can be the biggest whatever in Serbia, it doesn't really matter. But if I'm the biggest whatever in the Balkan region, the biggest company in Eastern Europe, even from a global perspective, I think that you're starting to see more companies like that. So I've invested in, for example, 2 companies out of Serbia alone, right? So there are starting to be this new blood of very, very great sort of like technical talent and sort of entrepreneurial talent that's sort of coming out of the region. Technical talent's really, really good. English language is not an issue. Small market, which forces you to sort of think bigger. These are all things that I think point to sort of bigger and better things in the future.
Mm-hmm. And what is your impression on today's event and Pioneers of Balkans program?
A second, sorry, because it's on your jumper, okay, you know, and makes a little noise. Let me just find another.
What's this?
I think.
Is it okay?
I think this. I'm sorry for
this. Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What was your question again?
So, what is impression on today's event?
I mean, I've only been here a couple hours, so I guess it's hard for me to say, but it's a well-organized event. It feels like there's been very, very good sort of filtering in regards to sort of the quality level of the companies, and presentations in general are much better than they normally are. I mean, I like the region because I've been involved with the region, at least from the startup world, for about at least 4 years, and there is market improvement. Like every year you come back here, there is improvement, and that's a great thing.
And what do you see? What is the most active sphere here? What startups are mostly focused in Balkans and what they are lacking?
I mean, there's a wide variety. I think I'm seeing some interesting hardware and IoT companies out here. You know, gaming, which is an area we don't invest in, but there seems to be a lot of interesting gaming companies actually coming out of the region. So I see all these things. Unfortunately, I don't invest in gaming, but like there are some interesting gaming companies actually coming out. And I think one of the most successful startups actually out of Serbia is actually a gaming company, if I recall correctly, right? And so, but IoT, hardware, starting to see some cool stuff coming out from these 2 specific sectors.
Mm-hmm. What would you advise to all the startups here? What they are missing to get into 500 Startup program?
For me, it's like storytelling, having a clear view of really focused commercialization, and having a good understanding of basics of customer acquisition. These are really important things that you should know anyways for getting investment, but to get into 500 startups, like these are 3 really important things. And also how they're thinking about winning, and actually just also thinking big, right? Like how can you go after solve a big problem and go after a big market?